I'm going to be showing you guys how to play Fix You by Coldplay on the guitar. Here's a quick overview of everything I'll be covering in this tutorial today, and with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. Alright guys, so I'm going to show you 7 chord shapes to play through this song today, but 2 of them are going to be kind of optional, so let me explain that in a second. First of all, let's start with our C major chord, which looks like this and sounds like this. By the way, if you don't know how to read these chord charts you're seeing on screen, I do cover how to do that in my free beginner course right here on YouTube, so make sure to check that out. The next chord shape is our E minor. Then we have our A minor. We also have our G chord. And then here is our F chord. Now I know bar chords can be difficult for some people, so you can actually swap this out for an F over C chord. Or if you know how to play both, I actually like to use both throughout my cover. Or also, if you would rather not play the F over C, you can swap that out for your barred F. And then the last chord here is our G suspended 4 chord. And again, this is another one of those optional chords. If you don't like, the way that this feels on your hand, then you can always just swap that out for a regular G chord. And again, vice versa. If you don't like the regular G, you can swap it out for G sus4 throughout the song. Both of those optional chords, F over C and G suspended 4, I like to use in my cover, and it kind of just gives it a little bit more of a different sound. But again, it's totally up to you which chord shapes you would like to use throughout your cover. So go ahead and pause the video and take as much time as you need to memorize these different chord shapes, as well as practice transitioning back and forth between them. It will make learning the rest of the song so much easier. And if transitioning between chords fast enough is something that you're currently struggling with, I would suggest checking out my Practice With Me series right here on YouTube, where we practice the skill and build it together in real time. But with that being said, let's go ahead and talk about the strumming. Alright, so I always suggest if you are new to guitar or someone who struggles with playing guitar and singing at the same time, I would recommend starting out with a practice pattern, which is just a single down strum, and you're going to play that for every time you see a chord change as you sing through the song. It's really going to help you get used to where those chord changes occur while you're singing. So a quick example of what that would look like with verse 1 would look like this. When you try your best but you don't succeed, when you get what you want but not what you need. So basically you would do that for the entire song and just make a mental note of wherever those chords are going to be happening, what word you're singing, things like that. And this is actually something you can practice right now if you visit my Patreon page. I do have this whole guide available to download and print out, which can help you speed up this whole process. But with that being said, let's go ahead and talk about the full strumming pattern. Alright guys, so we're going to stick with a fairly simple strumming pattern today. As you can see, it's just down, 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 up. So let's go ahead and zoom in and talk a little bit about this rhythm. Alright guys, so we're sticking with a fairly simple 8th note strumming pattern today, so we're going to count that like this. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and down, 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 up, down, 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 up. All right, and basically you just want to play this pattern one time through per chord in the intro, the verses, as well as that kind of long instrumental break towards the end. And then in the choruses and the bridge and the outro of the song, you would actually repeat this pattern 2 times per chord. So it'll make a lot more sense when we go through the song. So let's go ahead and pull up verse 1. Each of these chords is going to get one strumming pattern. So we have C, down, 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 up, E minor, down, down, up, A minor. One time per chord, E minor, down, down, up. Same pattern can be applied for all the verses. That'll apply for all of the verses in the song. Now, like I said, sometimes you'll have to repeat this pattern 2 times for certain parts of the song. So for example, the chorus. So if we bring that up, basically each of these chords, you're going to do the exact same pattern, but you're going to do it twice per chord. So starting with our F, we have down, 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 up twice. To your G, down, 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 up twice. All right. on that last G, I just do a single down strum. Try to fix you. And then you go back into 1 time per chord. C, E minor, A minor, G. All right, just like we practiced earlier. So basically this strumming pattern you can actually apply for the entire song, and it sounds really great. The song is pretty slow and kind of mellow, so you don't really need to go super fancy with the strumming, and I think this is a really easy one to just kind of like count in your head as you're playing through it. However, there is something that I think sounds really pretty with this song, which is more of a picking pattern or a tab. So I wanted to go ahead and show you guys my suggestion on how to play that. And really quick guys, before we jump into the picking, I wanted to take a second to kind of sponsor myself in this video. So if you are enjoying this and finding it helpful, please make sure to give me a thumbs up down below, as well as subscribe to my channel because it really does help. And if you are anyone who's struggling with anything that we've taught so far, chord shapes, transitioning, rhythm, things like that, you can always check out my Patreon page where I offer exclusive perks to all of my patrons, including printable guides, customizable backing tracks, polls where you can vote on what songs you want to see on my channel, and even video troubleshooting where you can send me a video with any questions that you have or you're struggling with, and I will send you my video response back. These are just some of the perks that I offer over on my Patreon page, so if you would like to get your hands on some of these exclusive perks while simultaneously supporting this channel, I will make sure to link all of that in the description box down below. Alright guys, so I have a fairly straightforward picking pattern that I want to show you for this song, but first of all, if you don't know how to read the tab that you're seeing at the top of the screen, make sure to check out my video right here about how to read guitar tabs. I did a fun little kind of interactive video that gives you the basics for there. But then once you have that down, we can come back and look at this tab. So basically what you want to do is for each chord, we're just going to pick certain strings. So starting with our C chord on our left hand, all I want you to do is take your thumb and put that on the lowest bass string, which is your A string. Then you're going to take your pointer and your middle finger and put those on the G and the B strings, okay? And those are always going to stay here. So for our C chord, we have thumb, pointer, middle, pointer. A string, G string, B string, G string. All right? 3, 0, 1, 0. Super simple, right? And you can actually apply this for the other chords in the verses. So for E minor, you can put your E minor chord shape down, although you don't have to because we're just going to be picking open strings. So for this, you're going to move your thumb from the A string to the low E string, but otherwise it's the same. So we have thumb, pointer, middle, pointer. Then our next chord shape is our A minor on our left hand. Same thing, except your thumb's going to be moving from the low E back to that A string. So we have open, 2, 1, 2. And then the last chord here is our G chord. So again, just your G chord shape on your left hand. Move your thumb back down to that low E string. E, G, B, G. And those are the only 4 chords you need to know to play through the verses. So if you string them together, it sounds like this. We have C, E minor, A minor, G. All right? And then if you go a little bit faster, then you can hear what it sounds like with the verses. When you try your best, but you don't succeed. When you get what you want, but not what you need. So you can see how the picking or tab has a little bit of more of a softer kind of quality to it, and I think that sounds really good with the verses, so that's where I like to apply it. Now really quick, I wanted to show you also a picking you could do for the F chord and the G chord, because you can also use picking for the choruses. So on our F chord, now I do recommend using the barred F if you want to do this picking, because it'll sound a lot more like the song. So basically you want to have your F chord shape down on your left hand. And what we're going to do is pick with our thumb the low E string. Then remember, these 2 fingers are still on your G and your B strings. But this time we're going to also add our ring finger on our right hand to the high E string, okay? So then what you want to do is go thumb, pointer, middle, pointer, ring, pointer. Then here on the open high E string, you just want to kind of lift your bar right there so that you can kind of let go of the high E string. So you're basically picking it open. So earlier it was first fret, now it's open. And then I like to use this last little beat here as a time to transition to my G chord. So as all my fingers are off the strings, I'll go back and do the G string. All right. So for our F chord, it sounds like this. Okay, so you can see on those last two opens, that's when I'm transitioning chords, okay? So then we go into our G chord. Again, you're just holding a G chord on your left hand, but the picking is going to be basically the same. We have our low E, G, B, G, high E, G, B, G. All right, so with our fingers, thumb, pointer, middle, pointer, ring, pointer, middle, pointer. A little bit easier than the F chord there, okay? So if you do those back to back, you can do that with the chorus. G, back to F, G, lights will guide you home and ignite your bones, and I will try. Again, on that G, I like to end it halfway. To fix you. Then you go back to that first picking pattern. And basically that is the tab that I kind of think sounds really pretty with this song. I like to use it mostly in the intro and verse 1 and the first chorus. And then once we get into verse 2, I kind of switch into strumming for the rest of the song, except for the outro. But that's just my preference. So go ahead and pause this video and look at this tab as long as you need to kind of really get it under your belt. And then you can figure out where you like to apply it in the song and what you think sounds best. Of course, this whole thing is optional. You could totally just strum the whole song as well. So once you have that down, we can come back and put everything we've learned together to play through the song. 1, 2, ready, go. When you try your best but you don't succeed, you want but not what you need. When you feel want to have fun jamming out to the rest of the song with me? Then make sure to check out my Patreon page where you can unlock access to this as well as all my other fast track and play along guitar tutorials. I'll make sure to leave a link in the description box down below. If you liked learning this song with me, then you should definitely check out this video. Not only does it have a super similar vibe, but it's just as easy and fun to play, so I'll see you over there. Bye!